So welcome to chapter 4 of the course, and this section of the course is all about how to run your business on a day-to-day basis. So you set everything up, you've designed your business, you've got all the processes in place and the things in place that you'll need to actually run your business, but how do you handle your first inquiry when it comes in? That's what we're going to talk about in this first lesson. And it's a really exciting moment when you get your first inquiry coming in, your first potential customer. This is when it all really starts to come together. But how do you handle that first inquiry? And how do you handle all your subsequent inquiries going forward? How you do that is really going to pave the way for whether you're successful in your business or not. So how should you deal with an inquiry? For example, you get your first phone call coming through on your work number, or you get your first email inquiry, or you get your first inquiry through your website contact form. What should you do? Well, it's great to just deal with it there and then, and you can do that each time you get an inquiry. But the best way to deal with inquiries is to have some kind of customer relationship management system in place. Because it's easy to deal with one or two inquiries by yourself, but what happens as you start to get more and more inquiries over time is they can just end up getting lost in your inbox, or you can end up forgetting to call people back and things like that. So that's where software can be really helpful for you. So for me, Tradeify is a massive help. What I have is the website contact form feeds all my inquiries through to Tradeify, and basically they appear in my inquiries list in Tradeify, and then I can deal with them and action them as necessary. So Tradeify could be a good option for you as you're getting going with your new trades business, and I'll leave a link in the notes here where you can get 50% off your first 3 months with Tradeify. And we'll talk about Tradeify as we go forward because it's helpful in lots of different angles when it comes to kind of the admin side of running an electrical business. So you get your first inquiry through. Maybe it's Mrs. Smith from number 32 High Street. She wants to have 2 new sockets put in her living room. And so you'll get this email message through from her saying that she wants to have that done. What do you do? How do you deal with it? Well, what you need to do is try to contact her as quickly as possible. Generally, with inquiries, they go cold if you leave them for too long. So it's really great, and it demonstrates excellent customer service if you can get back to a customer really quickly when they contact you. Well, obviously you might be busy out day to day on site working, so you might not want to be juggling contacting customers throughout the day while you're trying to work. But it's good if you have a little bit of time each day to just make that contact with people who've made new inquiries. And that could just be by responding to their email, or it could be by giving them a call if they've left you a voicemail. Or if you've got a call handling service, then that call, they'll send you a message with all the details of the client, and you can contact them via phone or email. And you need to find out what the customer needs. So this is the key sort of thing for customer service, and it sounds obvious, but what customers want is for you to give them what they need. So rather than talking too much, let them talk. Ask important questions so you can find out the details, but let them talk. And actually by doing that, you sell yourself, because people just love to talk. And so what they want to do is just to be reassured that you can give them what they need in terms of the electrical work that they're inquiring about. So you can try over the phone to find out all the different details of the job that they want doing, or you can email them and ask questions. I usually try to email if possible, but sometimes it's a lot quicker to just talk to them on the phone, and you can actually get a much better feel for a customer, what kind of person they are, if they're just trying to be a bit tight on price, or if they're the kind of customer that you really want, who doesn't mind how much it costs, but they just want to get the job done to a high standard. Those kind of vibes you can get much better from a phone call than you can from an email. So often it's really good to just touch base with the customer via phone. And it also gives that personal contact so that they can hear your voice, they can get a feel for the kind of person that you are, and you can have an excellent opportunity to give them good customer service that way. So once you've found out the details of what they need, there are a few different options really. What you could do is just give them a price there and then if it's an easy job to price. You can say, for example, to come out and replace that light fitting that you want replacing, it's going to be £120 including VAT, and we can do it on this date, and you can just book it straight there and then over the phone. That's a nice thing to be able to do if possible. Or you might do that over email. You might send them an email saying, thanks for your inquiry. To replace a new light fitting with another one that you have provided or supplied by you, the price would be 120 including VAT. And we can do it on this date and time. And then you put the ball in their court for them to reply to you saying, yes, that's great, please go ahead and book us in. So that's the first kind of option when it's a really simple job that's easy to price straight away. But often in our industry it's not that simple. You need to find out more details, and maybe you need to see the site to really know what they need, what they want, and to run through the details of the job with them. In a pandemic situation like we've had over the last few years, sometimes it's not recommended to go to people's houses, and video calls are the way forward. So we've learned from that actually video calls can be a really easy and good way to do a site visit, and it can save you a lot of time and money by doing that. You can see the details of the job, you can have that personal contact with them without actually having to travel to site. So that's a good option to do if you think it's suitable, but sometimes there's no other option than to just do a site visit. You need to see the place, you need to get your head around it, visualize it by being there and talking to the customer face to face and walking them through what they want, telling them how you think you would do the job so that you can make sure that they are happy with that way of doing it. And then everything's clear so that you can provide a quote to them. So if you have to go out to visit or you have to arrange a video call with them, what you need to do is book an appointment. So that's what we're going to talk about next, how to book appointments.